a woman like me,
yeah.
Obolo, would you believe that I hardly would say this and I'm not even ready to tell the story? I'm not ready. The stories of sexual assault. When I discussed, my daughter was somewhere with me, I think yesterday. She held my hand. She said, Mommy, you've gone through so much. I said, I have. I remember how many of those things I have to relive. I've been raped only once in my life, and I was raped by our colleague. I see him every other day. Do you know how traumatized I am? When I see him, I just get into this momentary panic mode. But if a woman of my caliber name him, he's an established person in the broadcast circle. Would people say, how come Lolo did not speak about it for all these 6 years?
Yeah.
It's now that he's taking a prominent TV position, she speaks. But when sexual assault happens to women, the first thing that happens to a woman is denial. This didn't happen. The next thing is self-crucifixion. I caused it for myself.
How did I allow it
How
happen?
did I allow it happen? What could I have done? All this is happening as you are processing and going home.
Well, that's our video. That's our main topic for today. We're talking about sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and we're taking it from Lolo's point of view. Lolo said she has only been raped once in her life, and then she was raped by a colleague, and then she sees the colleague almost every day, and then when she sees the colleague, she freezes, and these things happen, and it's huge to break down and then cut it into pieces because Lolo is a big star. And if she said 6 years ago, and she said, if she mentions the person's name, it might not
to get backlash.
It will be very messy. It will actually be very messy.
To be very honest, sometimes, should you really... I understand that we heal in different ways, and I want to... People, please... understand what I'm, because the way people take things out of context, I need you to understand what I'm saying and don't try to tag me. Now I know we all ill in different ways, but sometimes do you even want to mention the person's name? Sometimes do you even just want to go back to this gist? These are things people will tell you that you need to, they call it name and shame. But sometimes do you just even want to do it?
Okay, I have a contrary opinion to... No, not contrary, I agree with you. So, there are some times that, I don't know if you remember a case with a popular pastor and a celebrity's wife.
Yes.
It has to be...
Yes, yeah, I do.
She mentioned the person's name and see all what that went down. Why is she just stalking? Why is she just coming out after all these years? Does she want to spoil his church? Does it? So I feel like sometimes it's just better to not say. But some people, they don't care. They are going to say, because it's taking them so much. It's taking them a lot of time. Because I know that most sexual assault victims don't speak up immediately. Some people do, some people do not. But I feel like she's just like, you know what? I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to say what happened, but this is what happened. Let it be there.
And from my own side, I feel it's a process for her to have come out and because obviously this is the first time she's coming out to say that she has been raped before, and it's a process for her. So basically, that name she doesn't want to mention, obviously she would obviously mention the name because just like you said, that famous pastor and celebrity's wife too also, it must have been a process. First, she must have told her husband, told this one, and they're like, oh, for you to just let go all this stuff, let people know who did this to you, so that you can actually come to, let's say, settlement with yourself that finally everybody knows who this kind of person is. But the fact that you're still hiding that person's name, I feel that, oh, this person actually did this and got away with it. So basically, I feel with time she would heal, and maybe if it means her calling out that person's name, she'll feel better. Oh, she
she may never even call out the person.
She might never even call out the person's name, because let's look at it. Luckily, it's the same industry where we are in. It's the broadcast industry, and we know how the broadcast industry acts. It's just like the movie industry. It's just like the music industry. I think even movie and the broadcast industry are quite similar. And the modeling industry is when they decide to blacklist you, you are blacklisted. No matter how much power you say you have, you are blacklisted. So, and this is the industry that if she mentions this person's name, which I think she's coming from, it might end up coming negative
For
on her
her.
side.
Yeah,
on her
yeah,
side.
understand,
And
yeah.
Listen,
this-
like she didn't even mention the name and see the backlash
yes,
she's getting.
and looking at it is, this is an industry that they talk.
Yeah.
People talk. People, even without mentioning the name, I've been seeing comments and I said like people have started talking
yeah.
and have started giving comments that they shouldn't even have given in the first place about
And if people
the
should
situation
figure
that they don't even know much about.
about, yeah. And if people can actually sit down, investigate what she said, they
Yeah.
can actually bring the person out too.
Because I'm
Just
very,
social
to
media
be very honest,
people.
I've been trying to pinpoint, and I think if I really invest my energy in it, I'll pinpoint and get the person. Because obviously Lola is in radio,
Yeah.
so that person was in radio,
And
she said the person is now in
In
television,
TV. Yeah.
and the person
Yeah.
does lots of television. So I can actually pinpoint if I really want to. But really, it's quite sad that this is happening in
And
the workplace.
Basically, the thing is, I feel she's not the only one. And the reason why I'm saying is because of the environment we find ourselves in. There are people who obviously will come out and say, oh, this person I've actually been a victim of so and so. And the kind of backlash they get is literally not good for them. So basically, it's them telling themselves, if I had known, I should have just kept mute. And I feel like that's the narrative I want us to change. If anybody is actually coming out to say, it's not because maybe they want to spoil that person's life. No, because of what they face from this very person. And that person feels that, oh, he can actually enjoy himself now that you've done this to me in the past. Obviously, people need to understand that people go through a lot of things, and
Some
the fact that
people
they're coming
don't
out.
even want to come out because sometimes when they come out, it is a reverse psychology. What were you wearing?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah,
Why
that's-
do you put
that's the
yourself
environment I'm
in that
talking about, yeah.
position?
Sorry,
Why-
I want to get Dio's
Yeah.
point. Are you trying to say people should come out more when it happens to them? Should come out
Yeah,
more to
at
talk?
that moment, yeah.
At that moment.
At that moment. And
See,
they
let me
shouldn't
tell
be-
you.
And that's what I'm saying. The environment also matters. Like, if you're coming out at that moment, would they receive you well?
Nobody, let me say 80% of the time,
Yeah.
sexual assault victims or rape victims have never been perceived,
In the good.
except if, and thank God for like agencies like the DSRV,
Yeah.
NGOs that are
Yeah.
putting in so much might
support.
and so much this thing in this kind of cases. Even I don't want to say your parents, God forbid, but like even their parents don't even like. Where were you? Where did you go? Did I not tell you not to wear this kind of clothes again? Did I not do blah 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 blah
That's
blah
very
blah?
true.
And I think people process it differently.
People process things differently.
It's a thin line for me in the sense that people process the situations and then they tend to speak up when they feel like, well, they've processed it. They now understand what they went through and they think it's time to speak up. But where I draw the line, and I think we also need, I'm not advocating, it's raping, sexual assault,
Yeah.
sexual
It's a
harassment
no-no.
is wrong. You cannot stand, you cannot even defend it.
Yeah,
it is wrong.
it is
But
wrong.
what I am saying is, I kind of have an issue when the person that did this, that allegedly did this, is now a kind of notable
Person.
as a name, as one this, and that's when you feel that it's the right time for you to talk. I think I have an issue because at that point it's not coming from a place of authenticity anymore. It's coming from a place of because I want to
Jealousy.
do bad.
Yeah,
I really want to
And you
fight
know
back
what?
at this time.
Do you know
and that's
what?
why I have issue with. I'm not saying you're free to talk when you want to talk and you feel comfortable talking.
there's some
But I
certain
don't
levels
like
that-
when
yeah.
it's when the person is now becoming
gotten to a
known,
certain
and that's
level,
when you
yeah.
feel that you're ripe to talk. It's giving what
Do
you
you know
shouldn't
what?
give.
I rate it. I can't lie.
Why?
Okay, it's a
It's just like I want to do bad too.
yes.
I want to do
it's
evil.
Like, it's
You've
evil
spoiled my
for
life, so
evil.
obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the result of this led to people chastising me,
Yeah.
people like maybe my parents not even associating with me anymore, or probably even had a baby that I
Yeah.
can't even take care of. Listen, I will destroy your name. I can't go down alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I just want us to quickly. I like what you said. I want us to just quickly touch on it. You said you would destroy. So what's your first reaction to someone who does you bad? And do you react immediately to have a conversation about it, or you wait for days like when the person is in situations to just attack the person?
Do you know what? I think I'm the later.
Yeah.
I don't react to things immediately. Sometimes it takes me a lot of time
To process.
Like, you actually said this, you actually did this to me. And then I'm like, okay, don't worry. I know where to get to.
Yeah.
I know where to get to you. I don't care if it's going to...
Yeah.
Explode?
Yeah.
What about you?
Like she said, it's actually a process. So basically, it's more of this person has actually done this to me, and how do I get back at this person? Like what Baba Mimi said, should you wait till that moment where this person's at a certain level? There are times where, obviously, before it gets to that level, obviously, oh, you did this to me. If you have to call that person out, obviously do it. But the fact that he has to wait to that level, you might not get what you actually want at that.
And I don't think some people actually wait to that level.
Yeah.
They've probably been sending signals.
Okay.
Do this, let's do this.
Yeah.
Call me, apologize.
Yeah.
Do this, clinical. And you're
That's
probably
actually true.
You see,
then they start going, okay, I will show you.
Yeah.
I will show you. Make amends.
Coinsala, I think you just touched it. I think that's it for me. Yeah. For me, when you do something, but I tend to leave space for try to right the wrong. Try to right the, then if you don't, I can go as far as what you said. I can go as far as now. Let us now start destroying everything. Let's start destroying everything. But I tend to like give that space for it. Like you can come up to have conversations about, but if not, let's start destroying everything. Yeah. So that's why I seem to understand Lola's aspect. Yeah. I'm not going to say she needs to mention the person, but I'm just going to hope that she finds a way to heal, because it's quite sad to see someone that did you. No, look, let's be very honest. We're about to round up, but it's quite sad to see someone that did you bad. You know,
rising to the top
not rising, and you get to see the person every day. It's whether we like it or not, it creates this kind of evil thought in you where you think that I'm going to do you bad until this is sorted out. And I think that is where she is, that like, I'm going to keep on, I'm going to, and if it's not controlled, she might be forced to mention the person's name, except there's a conversation to sort out like this and this happened, and I think this and this and this and this, and I think that they'll find a solution.
And she even saying that, I think,
we need to go.
I want to believe that it was out of impulse.
Yeah. We need to go. So, but then, like we said, sexual assault, sexual harassment is wrong, not even at the workplace. No, it's quite sad.
And it happens a lot.
It happens a lot, and I think that should be watched. I'm glad she spoke out, and then people should be free to speak out in such situations. There is no force to speak out, but speak out when it's right and when you feel comfortable to speak out after processing. Guys, we need to go. Thank you for joining us on this.
I'm sorry, guys.
on this section. Well,
charge you.
But it's quite fine. At least you joined us and you had a lot to say. Dayo, it's time to leave. Oh, no, say bye first.
Bye, guys. It's Baby Leia.
Dayo.
So I'll see you next weekend with hopefully a positive result from the second leg of the Real Madrid Arsenal match. Till then. And they feel like they eyes.
Okay, so it's time to go. That's how much we can take. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you and you will see me when you see me. Take care, guys. Bye. The morning fantastic. See you with flam, put it on your tongue, then flip it up like